GS 469.
The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that even the G-men cannot reach. The Green Hornet. The adventurer, not 1 cent for tribute. The events and characters depicted in this drama are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Is that the gas station on the next corner, Kruger? Not that one, Sally. Can't you see how much he's charging for gas? That one's okay. The one we want's around the next corner. Which way? Turn left. There's the place. Here it goes!
Well, boys, I guess we won't have no more trouble with that guy.
Not now, Slagle.
Drink up, boys. You sure the bomb did a good job?
I was watching through the rearview mirror, Slagle. Kruger tossed that pineapple right into the middle of the gas pumps. Don't worry, boss. You can pick up what's left of the place with an eyedropper.
That's fine. From now on, he'll pay protection dough along with the rest.
You got a sweet racket, Slagle. Sure. Every gas station in the city is kicking in.
They're paying for protection, Sally. I make sure nothing happens to them.
And if they don't pay?
They run into trouble like tonight. You were careful not to let anyone see you?
We went by too fast, boss. Yeah, we used a stolen car. This is a couple of blocks further on. The only guy that has an idea it was us is the guy we bombed. Catch him talking. Besides, he don't know for sure. All he's got is suspicion.
Right. A guy who's scared don't make a good witness. You need more than suspicions for proof.
You said it, boss.
As for the police, they can't prove a thing when they ain't got witnesses.
Mr. Case, get the district attorney on the phone for me. Have Lowry here when I'm through talking.
Yes, Mr. Reed.
Snap it up.
Well, looks like a 3-alarm fire the way he's burning up. Sally, get the district attorney on the wire. And tell Lowry to stop cutting out paper dolls and come in here on the double. Mr. Reed's in a hurry. And I do mean hurry. Oh, I wonder what it is this time. Last week he was turning out scorching editorials on dangerous drivers and how they were a menace on the city streets. Yes, Mr. Reed?
Get me all the information we have on the recent gas station accident. Bring it to me as soon as you get it. Oh, is that the district attorney?
Mr. Reed's office? Just a moment. Yes, Mr. Reed, it's the district attorney. I'll switch him on your wire.
I have it. Get busy on that list.
Hello. Hello, let me have the morgue.
Don't tell me, Casey. The boss is going to make me the love-born editor.
You'd do better at a racetrack, Lowry. Hello, morgue?
Morgue? Did somebody die?
Not that morgue, silly. The place where we keep all the back copies of the Sentinel.
Oh, no, Casey, you're kidding me. If there's any information he wants, I have it at my fingertips.
This is his case. Mr. Reed wants all the information you have about recent gas station accident.
That's it, huh?
I don't care how you get them. Well, check with the police. Go through your back copies.
Casey, that last gas station that was blown up was a shambles. Wrecked pumps, gasoline. I never saw such a mess.
It doesn't take a reporter to see that.
Do I detect a note of sarcasm in that last crack?
You do. Honestly, Lowry, it's an open secret who's back of all these bombings and fires.
Really?
Slagle, that's who.
Tell me something I don't know, Casey.
Then why don't your stories say so?
Listen, Casey. Sure, Slagle controls the gas stations in this town. He's got a protection racket that brings in a cent on every gallon.
Then why don't
But
you...
the Sentinel can't print that. There's no proof. We'd be sued from here to Christmas.
My idea of heaven would be someplace where a newspaper can print what everybody knows is true, even though it can't be proved.
Yeah, but this place isn't heaven.
Not while Slagle is here.
Well, maybe the district attorney can do something.
I've been talking to him, Laura. Just finished.
Did he have anything, Mr. Reed?
Not a thing, Miss Case.
How about that last bombing, boss?
Yeah, it's the same story all over again, Laura. Suspicions, but no proof. Even the owner of that gas station refuses to talk.
And meanwhile, that snake Slagle keeps raking in all the cash he can get his grabbing hands on.
There's one consolation, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, Casey?
None that I know of, Miss Case.
Well, what I mean is, Slagle's only taking money from gas stations.
Well,
1 cent difference in the price of gasoline isn't going to affect people so much.
Miss Case, you're making the same mistake that others do. The price of gasoline is as important as any other.
But suppose Slagle's racket were meat and vegetable markets. Well, people wouldn't be able to get the right kind or amount of food. Now, you can't
It's
compare...
practically the same thing.
Keep your ears open, Casey. Here's where you get a lesson in simple economics.
Meat and vegetable markets use trucks in their business.
Yes,
They have to pay the same higher price for gasoline that Slagle forces from everyone else.
but a cent a gallon...
Well, that adds up. If they spend more for gasoline, they have to make it up somewhere else. In other words, if their expenses go up, they have to charge the public more for the food they're selling.
You hit it, boss, and the same goes for every family that uses a car.
Exactly. Every cent they have to spend for gas means 1 cent less to buy milk and eggs and fresh vegetables for the family table.
Why, of course. I didn't stop to think.
More people did think, Miss Case. Racketeers like Slagle would never get started.
Too late for that now. Slagle's got the gas stations tied up tighter than Houdini.
Well, that's why I called you. We're going after every one of those gasoline dealers.
Why, boss?
If we can find one man who'll act as witness against Slagle, that's all the district attorney will need.
They're sending the names up from the morgue, Mr. Reed.
Go after them, Lowry. Take Clicker Benny with you.
Okay. We ought to be able to convince somebody that he's smart to act as a witness.
Lowry and Clicker Benny made the rounds of the gas stations which had recently had accidents, but their search was fruitless. They could find no one who would consent to appear against Bat Slagle. As they approached a gas station run by a man named Jennings, Lowry said,
We're not having much luck, Clicker. Everybody gives us the same story.
I can't blame them exactly, Lowry. How would you like it if something happened to your family?
I haven't got a family.
Yeah, but most of these gas station operators have. Besides, they can't help much.
They say they can't, but I know
It
they...
may be true. Apparently, Bat Slagle is pretty careful about making sure there's no actual evidence against him.
Benny, all these accidents can't have just happened.
Slagle's responsible, all right. There's no doubt about that. Only all the victims claim they saw nobody, heard nothing, and know nothing.
I still say they're scared. How about this guy here? What's his name?
Jennings,
Okay, watch me work.
it'd be about time. Nothing's worked so far.
He isn't out here. Must be inside the station.
Yes, sir. You want some gas?
Mr. Jennings?
That's right. Guess I didn't hear you. I was busy checking over the business I've been doing.
How is business?
Could be better. Who wants to know?
Paying 1 cent tribute and every gallon to Slagle cuts into the profit, doesn't it?
Listen, mister, you here to buy gasoline or what?
Hold on, Mr. Jennings. We don't mean to be rude.
If you want gas, I'll sell it. If you don't, clear out.
You don't understand. We're from the Daily Sentinel.
Sure. He does the reporting, and I take the pictures.
How would you like your picture in the papers, Mr. Jennings?
My picture.
Yeah, the Sentinel's running a series on gas station operators. We want to tell our readers...
Don't kid me.
How about some of our leading... Huh?
You heard what I said. You ain't fooling me with that serious stuff. You're here about Bat Slagle, ain't you?
Nice work, Lowry.
Okay, Jennings. I won't stall. How about it? You know plenty about the way Slagle works.
Me? Not a thing.
I suppose Slagle didn't wreck your place last month.
Where'd you get that idea? There was an accident. The gas tank exploded.
Oh, Mr. Jennings, don't hold out on us.
Come on, Jennings. You know it was Slagle. Pin it on him and you'll be a hero.
Yeah, I'd rather be alive.
But
Besides, it wouldn't do any good anyway. I didn't see nothing.
You were here when it happened, weren't you?
Sure, but I didn't see anybody. I tell you, it was an accident. See, an accident.
Just like the rest of them. Afraid to talk.
Listen, you. Take a tip and get out of here before I get mad.
Looks to me as if all of you are yellow.
I'm warning you to get out.
Letting Slagle make monkeys of you. Yellow as a chrysanthemum.
Hey, you.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Now get out and stay out. Don't come around again looking for a store. You'll get another poke in the jaw.
Don't tell me, Lowry, the only result of sending you and Miss Benny out is that bruise on your chin.
Oh, the big jellyfish smacked me when I wasn't looking.
Doesn't sound much like a jellyfish to me.
Not this fellow, Mr. Reed. He was mad.
I mean about Slagle, Mr. Reed. They were all jellyfish. Even the guy who socked me wouldn't open his mouth about Slagle. Compared to them, a clan could talk your ear off.
Lowry, I don't quite approve of your tactics in questioning this man Jennings.
I couldn't help it, boss. By the time I got around to him, I was fit to be tied.
Reporters are supposed to go out for facts, not fights.
On the level, boss. I tried being polite.
Yes?
You know Lowry, Mr. Reed. If he can't get facts one way, he uses another.
Whether any of them have something on Slagle or not, I don't know. All I know is they won't talk.
Benny, you've been trying to conceal a grin ever since Lowry and you came in here.
Me?
Did you snap a picture of Jennings hitting Lowry? Huh?
Well, my camera was handy, and I just took it.
Clicker, you double-dealing little... Give me that camera.
Hey, can't a girl take a few shots for a private collection? Let go, you bastard!
Hold on, both of you.
It'll ruin me, boss. Clicker, show that print all around the city room.
You said it. I'll have it enlarged, too.
Clicker, I'll buy that picture from you. How much?
Hey, never mind that. Rush the film to the darkroom, Miss Benny. That shot is going on page 1.
As long as she doesn't... What? You're going to publish it? Why, boss? Why?
With a caption under it reading, "This man is not afraid of hitting a reporter. Why is he afraid to talk about Slagle?"
Wow. I've been waiting for a chance like this all my life.
Why don't that newspaper mind its own business? Putting my picture on the front page.
Now, Jim,
But Alice, I know very well why I won't talk.
perhaps you should tell what you know about Slagle.
And have his mob do another job on my gas station? Or come over here after you and Timmy? Not a chance.
Slagle wouldn't do that.
Sure he would. Besides, I can't prove it was Slagle had my place bombed. He's too slick for that.
So we go on paying.
Yeah. And that reminds me, Slagle's collector's due here pretty soon. Is the money ready?
Yes, in the envelope.
After them seeing this picture in the Sentinel, I better have it for him on the line.
The doorbell. Is that him?
It's a little early, but... You stay here, Alice. I'll see him in the hallway.
Be careful, Jim.
Don't worry, honey. Gosh, I wish there was something I could do without making things bad for Alice and the kid.
Inside, Jennings.
Hey, what? Mask!
Get back.
That gun! I know you. You're the Green Hornet.
That's exactly right.
Whatever you come for, Hornet, you're not getting it, see?
Jim, you forgot the money.
Bring it here.
Why, you dirt...
I could give you a shot of gas and take it anyway, Jennings.
Here, Jim, do as he says. Here it is.
Yes, better.
That goes for Slagle, Hornet.
It was for Slagle, but not anymore.
But that's all we have. The Slagle's collector is due any minute.
That's too bad. The Green Hornet got here first.
You can't. What do we tell him?
Tell him anything. This cash goes with me.
No, Jim.
Alice, let me go. I'll get him. Green Hornet, huh?
No, Jim, I won't let you.
It's too late. There he goes.
But Jennings was wrong. The Green Hornet had no intention of leaving. As the car pulled away, Reed spoke to Cato, the only living man to know him as the Green Hornet.
Cato, double back around the block. I want to be there when Slagle's collector arrives.
Yes, Mr. Red.
I'll be there when he does. You wait for me in the car.
A short time later, Slagle's collector arrived at Jennings' home. He refused to believe Jennings' story.
Stop stalling, Jennings. Where's that dough? I tell you, the Green Hornet took it. Don't make me laugh. The Hornet wouldn't bother with $20.
It's the truth. My husband left the money in the other room when he came to the door before. I thought it was you calling, so I brought the money out to him.
And the Hornet grabbed it. You expect me to believe that? You got that dough hid someplace. The other room, I'll bet. Go ahead. Search if you want to.
You won't find it in there?
Oh, I won't, huh? What do you call this, you dumbheads? Right in the table and seal with my name on it. Well, I'd bluff so easy I wouldn't even look in here, huh? I swear it wasn't You're getting too big for your hat, Jennings, since that picture got in the papers. When I tell Slagle about this, he'll whittle you down plenty.
Outside the window, a tall, masked figure listened to Kruger's outburst and then moved away silently.
Step number 1 in my plan to uncover Slagle's racket. Now, if only everything moves along as smoothly as it's been going so far, the Green Hornet is going to have a busy night. And that means a busy night for Bat Slagle as well. Slagle and his whole crooked outfit.
Reed found that Bat Slagle, a racketeer, had every gas station in the city paying him a cent a gallon on gasoline as tribute. By intimidation, violence, and every force at his command, Slagle was making his victims keep silent. Assuming the role of the Green Hornet in an attempt to smash Slagle's racket, Reed made it appear that the most courageous of Slagle's victims had attempted to withhold his weekly payment of protection money from Slagle's henchmen. Following Reed's instructions, Cato had the Black Beauty waiting in an alley near Jennings' house.
Slide over, Cato. I'll take the wheel.
Very well, Mr. Red. Did the plan work, Mr. Red?
So far, the plan is going fine, Cato. I doubled back and tossed the collection envelope in through the open window. Slagle's collector thinks Jennings was trying to pull a bluff. He's on his way to Slagle now.
We go there?
The Black Beauty will get us to Slagle's place twice as fast as he can make it. Cato, the Green Hornet is going to be in that office when Slagle's collector arrives.
It's about time you showed up, Kruger. Got the dough from Jennings?
Yeah, there it is. Can you imagine that guy, Pat? He tried to stall.
Jennings?
Yeah, Jennings.
What do you mean? Here's the dough.
He said he didn't have it. Tried to tell me the Green Hornet had swiped this dough.
A Green Hornet? That's a laugh.
And all the time was right in the next room. Wasn't even hid.
Tried to bluff you, huh?
Didn't work. You ought to take him down a peg anyhow, Pat.
If any one of them guys gives us trouble, it'll be him, all right.
Not if you show him who's boss, it won't.
Yeah. Kruger, from now on, Jennings is going to have to pay 2 cents on every gallon instead of 1.
Twice as much?
That'll teach him to try and act up with me. Now, let's count this dough just to make sure.
Okay, Pat.
It's getting late.
Feels like more than 20. Hey, Slager, look at this.
What?
Jennings tricked us. Instead of real dough, this envelope is chock full of plain paper.
What? Why that? Let me see.
He even used heavy paper so it would sound like the real thing when I felt the envelope.
Sam.
Well, the envelope was sealed, Pat. I didn't think he would try a stunt like this.
He won't no more. Jennings thinks he can fool around with me, huh?
Let me handle him, Pat.
Nix. You might come back like you did this time. Besides, this job's more down Zelly's alley. Zelly? Yeah, that's right. Slagle on this end. You're gonna do a job tonight, Zelly. I got it all figured. Now, here's what you're gonna do.
Hidden in the shadows where he had been since before Kruger's arrival, the Green Hornet listened to Slagle's conversation. Then as Slagle finished talking,
That's the idea, Zelly. And make sure nothing goes wrong. I want Jennings to know he can't play around with my outfit.
Oh, that's your scheme.
Huh? Who the devil's that?
It won't work, Slagle.
You're masked.
It's the Green Hornet.
Move over next to each other.
Got a rod, huh?
I heard about that gun, boss. It ain't got bullets, only gas.
Oh, gas, huh? And only one gun.
I get it.
Don't knock the table over. That won't help.
Get him from behind, Kruger. He can't shoot both ways.
Okay, Pat. Take it, gas it.
Get him, Kruger.
All right, got you. More. Who else? Gas me from behind.
I was waiting. They didn't see me.
Good work. One from each side at the same time is a little hard to handle. They almost had me.
What do we do now?
First, we make sure these 2 rats are unconscious. They're completely out. Can you fix them up so they'll stay that way until 4 in the morning?
4 in the morning?
That's the time when Slagle told Zelly to do that job. If we're going to trap these rats, we'll need every minute in between.
Jim, we ought to be going to bed. It's after 12.
Well, you go ahead, honey. I ain't sleepy.
All right. Don't be long. Good night, Jim.
Night, honey. It's taking plenty out of me to be paying off to Slagle. If he's going to make it any tougher one, and I might as well quit. And that reporter. Why did I sock him in the first place? I certainly must have looked jealous to him. Gosh, if I did have any dope on Slagle's racket, I would call that reporter.
That's a good idea, Jennings.
Oh, it's you again. What do you want now?
I'm your friend.
You put me on a spot with
For
Slagle.
one purpose. To take care of Slagle.
It don't make sense. First you swipe that dough, then you bring it back so Slagle's collector can find it.
Exactly.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be worried about what Slagle's going to do.
Plenty.
I don't need a guy in a mask to tell me that.
Jennings, I'm going to help you stop him.
You?
You don't believe me?
I've heard plenty about you, Hornet, and none of it good.
Perhaps this will convince you.
It's money. Dollar bills.
Look at them.
Wait, the money I gave to Slagle's collector.
What he took was nothing but strips of paper. I had this money with me from the first.
I can't figure you, Hornet.
Don't try to.
But the whole thing's screwy. The money, Slagle.
Jennings, I want to get Slagle as much as you do.
Yeah, I guess this proves it. But how can you get Slagle when nobody's got the goods on him?
Be at your gas station at 4 this morning.
But it's closed. I close it up at 12 when my helper leaves.
Never mind that. Call the cops, too. Call this reporter if you want to. Be there and watch what happens.
Jennings followed the suggestion given him by the Green Hornet. He called the office of the Daily Sentinel and asked for Lowry.
I want to talk to a reporter named Lowry.
Yeah, this is Lowry speaking. Who wants me?
This is Jennings.
Jennings?
Yeah, I'm the guy that runs that gas station.
Oh, you. Well, listen, Jennings. If you want to take another poke at me for getting that picture in the Sentinel, you can forget it. I didn't want that picture released either.
Well, you don't get it, Lowry. I'm calling about something else. Here's a tip for you. Be at my gas station around 4 o'clock.
What for?
The police are going to nab Slagle. I got the dope from the Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet? You mean he's in on this?
Will you be there?
Will I be there? Try and keep me away. Wow, talk about a scoop. So the Slagle mob are up to something. Hello, hello. Listen, get me Clicker Benny. Show her on the phone. How else?
I don't know where she is. Try every place. Try her home. Try the movie around the corner. Try any place but get her. No, it isn't personal. It's business. I got inside information that the Green Hornet's going to bust Slagle's gang wide open.
Here we are, Cato. Jennings gas station. Yeah, it's deserted, all right. And the problem now is how to get in.
I'll look around, Mr. Wade.
See if the window's open. I'll try the door. The door's locked. It's not very strong. Be easy to force it open, but I'd rather not. No need to damage property.
I found the window, Mr. Wade. It's locked, but there's a hole in the window pane.
Good, Cato. If there's a hole in the window pane, we'll be able to unlock it and get inside without any trouble.
Here it is.
If I can reach the catch. Probably this window was broken the last time Slagle had Jennings' place bombed, and Jennings didn't have enough money to repair it. Yeah, there. I can feel the window catch now. You have Slagle and Kruger, Cato?
Yes, sir.
I'll go in through this window and open the door. Then we'll bring the two of them in and put them right where Zelly will find them.
Yes, sir. They're still unconscious.
Working carefully and hurriedly, Britt Reed opened the door. Together, he and Cato carried the unconscious racketeers into Jennings' gas station. They moved in almost total darkness.
You'd never think to look at Slagle that he weighs so much, Cato. Heavy. Be careful of that chair. All right, put him down here next to Kruger. That's it. The two of them side by side where Zelly can find them.
Yes, sir.
We'll leave the door unlocked so that Zelly can get in without any delay. There. Yeah, time for us to leave.
We're not staying?
No, we can't afford to stay here. It's too risky. But we'll be near enough to check if anything goes wrong. Will Slagle and Kruger recover soon?
Positive. They'll wake up in a little while now.
Fine. I may be wrong, but Slagle's apt to be overconfident. He'll try to play out his hand in spite of everything. And that will mean his finish. Come on, Cato.
A short while after Britt Reed and Cato left, the two racketeers stirred. Slagle sat up.
What happened? Where? Oh, it's dark.
Hornet. Yes.
Who's that? Kruger. That you?
Yes. Hornet did it. Couldn't get him.
Kruger. Kruger, wake up.
Huh? Oh, Slagle. Where are we?
Kruger, it was that blasted Green Hornet. I remember now. He gassed us in my office. Snap out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, your office. That's where he must be now. He snapped off the lights and left us.
Sure, that's it. Got scared and took a powder. Now we'll find the light switch and then...
Slagle, this ain't your office.
No, it ain't. And where the devil are
Look
we?
out the window. Look at them gas pumps.
Hey, this is Jennings' place. I recognize it plain.
Yeah, just lights up to see things outside.
So the Green Hornet brought us here. Guess he figured we'd still be unconscious when Zelly came around to do a job on the place.
We'd have been done for.
Yeah, only figured wrong. That gas he used wasn't as strong as he thought. We'll just walk out when Zelly shows up, and nobody the wiser.
Hey, there's somebody coming now. See him? Through the window.
Huh? Well, that's Zelly. Come on. We're going outside and meet him.
What the? Who's that?
Take it easy, Zelly. It's me and Kruger.
I didn't expect you down here, boss. What's the matter? Checking up on me? Ah, we know you can handle it, Zelly.
It was the Green Hornet. He brought us
The
here.
Hornet?
He tried a little scheme to take care of me and Kruger. Only he slipped up, see? Now let's get busy. You got the bomb?
Right here, boss.
Okay. We'll set it down right here next to the gas tank. Now give me a match for this fuse. We'll take care of it.
Never mind the match.
What the devil?
Slagle, okay, get in there. Grab him.
You gotta get out of here.
Hands up. Reach. You don't get me.
No, you don't. No, what's Slagle? He's Slagle to me, Sergeant.
Wait, Jennings, don't.
Bomb my gas station, will you, Slagle? Hey, Clicker, snap this one. Jennings is going to poke Slagle.
Make us pay you tribute, huh? Well, the cops got the goods on you now.
All right, you got me. What else now?
No.
Oh, honey, did you get it, Clicker?
And how?
Thanks, Jennings. You saved us the trouble. Put the cuffs on him.
Okay, Doyle. Listen, officer, it's a mistake. I wasn't supposed to be here.
Tell it to the judge, Kruger.
Don't listen to him. He's in as deep as me. I tell you, the Green Hornet brought me and Slagle here.
Sure he did, and a good job, too. The Green Hornet. Is that why you got the tip, Jennings?
Yeah, and it worked smooth as clockwork.
Trust the Green Hornet for that.
So the Green Hornet's responsible for this, eh? Well, that's the first good thing he ever did.
Listen, Sergeant, the Green Hornet's okay, see? No matter what people say, he's one guy I'm going to believe in from now on. Hornet smashes gasoline racket! Slagle under through. Green Hornet still is our next
The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that even the G-men cannot reach. The Green Hornet. The adventurer, Justice, wears a blindfold. The events and characters depicted in this drama are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Hey, Clicker, where are you?
Close that door. Don't you know any better than to let light into a photographer's darkroom?
You and your silly snapshots. I have important news.
Yeah?
Where are you? It's black as pitch in here. Can't see where I'm going.
Oh, Lowry, you bumped into a pile of equipment.
Will you come on out of this place?
All right. No harm's been done anyway. Small thanks to you.
Come on, bring your camera.
I always bring my camera.
I'm glad to be out here where I can see what goes on.
That's what I want to know. What does go on?
Plenty. The law finally caught up with Stefani.
Slip Stefani? Don't tell me he's been arrested again.
Arrested my eye. This time he's going on trial.
You mean he won't wiggle out of this one the way he has all the others?
There were no witnesses before.
Sounds interesting. What do we do?
Gunnigan gave you and me the assignment of going over to the courthouse.
What for? Stefani won't be there. He'll be out on bail.
We're not seeing Stefani, Clicker.
No?
We're going to find out who's going to be the judge in his trial. In an important trial like this, the Sentinel's got to cover every angle, and the judge is one of them.
Not to mention the jury.
Sure, but even in a jury case, the judge is plenty important. And you know Stefani.
Gosh, Lowry, I hope he gets a judge who'll really treat him rough.
Hey, Stefani.
Can't you see I'm busy with my mouthpiece?
Yes, Dutch, as Slip's lawyer, I'm planning his defense.
What Slip, listen. Guess who's going to be the judge on your case?
Who?
Grayson.
What?
Yeah, Grayson. I was hanging around the courthouse, and one of the clerks in special sessions gave me the tip.
Stefani, you're sunk. Grayson is the toughest judge on the bench. You won't stand a chance before him.
Is that so?
He's dynamite. You know the kind of reputation he has.
He's one guy that can't be fixed, Slip.
I know all about Grayson.
Slip, I'm your lawyer.
Yes?
If you want legal advice from me, I'm telling you, you might as well jump bail.
Schiller's right, Slip. Take it on the lam. I got the car waiting downstairs.
Forget it, Dutch.
You ain't got a chance.
Why not?
You'll get a 20-year sentence if you stake.
I said I'm staying, Schiller.
But, Slip.
Don't be a sap, Stefani.
Me blow out of town because of Grayson? Nothing doing. I got a nice racket, and I'm keeping it, see?
You can't run it from behind prison bars.
That's right, boss.
Who said anything about me going to the gal?
Where else are you heading with Grayson judging?
Now, get this straight, you two. This ain't no surprise to me.
Huh?
I knew Grayson was going to be the judge a week ago.
Do you mean to tell me
And
that
what's more, I ain't worried. I got this case fixed.
Oh, Slip, who you kidding?
Grayson's got a secretary, ain't he?
Of course he has.
That secretary is appointed through politics.
Everybody knows that. Even a judge has got to hand out something to his party if he wants to get his job.
Correct, Dutch. When a judge wants to get nominated, he has to make certain concessions to the political party.
Don't mean nothing, though. They only do it because they gotta. Grayson don't have much use for his secretary.
Grayson don't, but we do.
What do you mean, Slip?
When my trial comes up, that guy's going to be working for me. And when he gets through fixing things up, well, Judge Grayson's going to have that jury on my side. It's in the bag, all wrapped up and ready to deliver.
Judge Grayson's going to handle the Stefani trial.
How about a statement from the judge?
Yeah, the judge's secretary says nothing to him.
What's the judge's opinion on racketeering in
I
general?
don't know. My editor's going to be sore if I don't get something.
They say the judge is busy.
Hey, where are you going, Lowry?
Come on, Clicker.
We're supposed to see the judge.
He's not seeing anyone.
I thought so. Giving up already. Well, I'm going back.
Who's giving up?
I suppose you have another name for it.
If you'll use those pretty little peepers of yours, you'll see that door down the side corridor.
Sure, I see it, but what's
That door, Clicker, is another entrance to Judge Grayson's offices. While those other newshounds are clamoring around the main entrance, we're going to sneak in this way.
Don't tell me that's your own idea, Lowry. I bet you saw it in the movies.
Never mind the wisecracks. Now faint.
Huh?
Faint. Make believe you're fainting.
Oh, I get it. That's our alibi for barging in the judge's office.
Never mind the explanations. Get busy. Here's the door.
Okay, here I go.
Hey, you don't have to put your weight on me until we get the door open. Excuse me. This lady passed out.
Yes, of course, Schiller. I know what to do. You don't have to worry, Schiller. All right, Schiller. Who are you? Don't you realize this is a private office?
Sorry, she fainted. Put her on the couch for a minute.
You can't stay here.
She may be feminine, but she isn't frail. I hope I didn't interrupt your phone call.
Phone call? Oh, nothing important.
Where am I?
Oh, she's better. Get her out of here.
Now, wait a minute, Creevy. You can't...
How do you know my name?
Well, I heard one of the men in the hall mention it.
I guess I must have fainted.
You're reporters. Get out. Judge Grayson isn't seeing any reporters.
Creevy, what's wrong?
Judge Grayson, I'm Lowry from the Daily Sentinel. How about the Stefani trial?
He sneaked in with this young lady, Judge.
Young man, since I have been selected to preside over Mr. Stefani's trial, I am not at liberty to make any statements.
Well, how about racketeering in general, sir?
As a judge, my sentiments on crime of any sort are well known. As for this trial, you'll have to wait until it's over.
Sure, but
I can promise one thing. This trial will be conducted as I have always conducted trials in the past, strictly according to the evidence.
Now you'll have to leave, both of you.
Thanks, Judge. It isn't much, but it's a statement anyhow. Come on, Clicker.
Hey, Casey, how do you like this photo?
Where's Mr. Reed?
Clicker, don't wave that picture in my face. It's still damp.
Sure, I just pulled it out of the hypo. It's a candid shot of Judge Grayson. I took it when he was talking to Lowry.
The judge didn't even know Clicker was snapping it.
Did you get anything from him about the Stefani trial?
Well, you know, Casey, since he's going to conduct it, he couldn't very well give an opinion beforehand.
But look at this picture. Get that expression on his face.
He looks like bad news for Stefani, doesn't he?
He was careful about his words, Casey, but he didn't think anyone would be catching his facial expression.
And that's what makes it a story. You know what the Chinese say.
In this case, yes. You mean the one about one picture being worth 1,000 words?
Now that that's cleared up, how about it, Casey? Where's the boss?
Mr. Reed's at the ball game.
Again?
Talking about me, Lowry?
Oh, hello, Mr. Reed.
How was the ball game?
I left after the fifth inning. The score's so lopsided it got dull.
Mr. Reed, Lowry couldn't get a definite statement from Judge Grayson.
Grayson? About what?
The Stefani trial, Mr. Reed. He's going to preside.
Oh, that. Well, if he won't talk, he won't talk. You can't expect it long as he's going to be the judge.
I took such a swell picture of him, too. Look, Mr. Reed.
It's not bad.
Not bad. It's perfect.
Yeah, but what good does it do without a story? All the judge would say was that he'd conduct this trial as he has all the others in the past.
Not very definite, is it?
That's about as definite as a dictator's promise.
Gunnigan thought maybe if we used the picture and the statement, that might make a story. The expression on his face is so strong that
Did the judge give you permission to snap this clicker?
No, not exactly, Mr. Reed.
Then the Sentinel has no right to use it. Sorry, Miss Benny.
Hey, Mr. Reed, you tore out my photo.
We can use no picture of a judge without his authorization.
There goes our story. Without a picture, it's not worth a stick of type.
Oh, we have a picture, Lowry.
Huh?
What you
There are
just said.
plenty of pictures of Judge Grayson in our files. Look through them, Miss Benny. I'm sure you'll find one that's every bit as strong as this one. We can do that without getting into trouble.
The night before the trial of Slip Stefani was scheduled to start, two men called on Judge Grayson late in the evening.
Good evening, Judge.
Creevy, what are you doing here? Who's this with you?
You know Mr. Schiller, Judge. He's Stefani's lawyer.
Can I see you for a few minutes, Judge? It's about the
Schiller,
trial.
if you're here to discuss Stefani's trial, the answer is no. You should know better than that.
It's about something else, Judge Grayson. Another matter entirely.
In that case, come in. We'll go into my study. I have a few minutes to spare. Here we are. Now, what is it, Schiller?
Creevy, close the door. Judge, you're going to fix things so Stefani goes free.
Why, how dare you discuss that?
You'd better do as he says, Judge.
I never had much use for you, Creevy. You're my secretary only because I was obliged to take you. Now get out, both of you.
Hold on, Grayson.
I'll have you put out.
You're not calling the police or anyone, Grayson. First, we talk about Stefani.
I'll have you disbarred.
No, you won't.
And you're not withdrawing from this case. You're the judge. Understand?
Schiller, I warn you.
You decide in Stefani's favor, or I'll have you thrown off the bench.
Do you know what you're saying?
Every word, Judge.
It's ridiculous.
Here. Look at these checks made out to cash.
Why should they concern me?
Look at the endorsement on the back.
But I don't see
They're
why...
endorsed over to you, Judge Grayson.
And notice who signed them.
Endorsed over to me. But Hanford and Young. These are their checks.
You tried them both and freed them.
Of course. The evidence was on their side.
Sure, but Hanford and Young are both dead now. From these checks, it looks as if they bribed you to let them go.
Where did these checks come from? I never saw them before.
I'm your secretary, Judge. I took those checks and had them deposited to your bank account.
If necessary, Creevy will swear that you knew all about them. It'll mean you're finished as a judge. Disgrace to you and your family.
But it's impossible. Both Hanford and Young are dead.
Checks are evidence enough.
Schiller, all this will do you no good. I'm only the judge. It's the jury that will settle Stefani's fate.
You can do plenty, Grayson. You can fix it so that jury never has a chance to go to the jury room.
Impossible.
Pick on something the district attorney says. Declare a mistrial.
That will only delay things. There'll be another trial.
Don't worry. By that time, Stefani can take care of the witnesses so there won't be another trial. Besides, there's lots of ways for a smart judge like you who knows all the tricks of law. Influence that jury if you have to. Call a mistrial. Anything.
I refuse to be a party to tampering with justice.
You're on a spot, Judge.
Remember your wife. She's not well.
If you're impeached, the scandal will kill her.
Yes, Emily. Her heart. 20 years on the bench, and now this.
The great Judge Grayson. They won't suspect a thing.
We'll see you in court tomorrow, Judge. Keep your mind on one thing. That, weak heart your wife has. Stefani goes free, or else.
Sentinel, paper, Sentinel! Stefani trial starts tomorrow. Racketeer goes on trial. Jury selected. Sentinel, paper.
But, Your Honor, this witness is important.
The court cannot waste the jury's time with non-essentials, Mr. District Attorney. I do not consider this witness of any importance. Call your next witness.
Holy cat's clicker. Looks like Stefani's pretty lucky.
He certainly had the best of it so far.
Look at Judge Grayson. He looks like he's half dead.
Several days after the start of the Stefani trial, Britt Reed burst into his apartment and spoke to Cato, his faithful valet and the only living person to know him as the Green Hornet.
Cato.
Yes, Mr. Ray.
I've just come from the Stefani trial. Judge Grayson has just called her recess until further notice. Looks like he's going to call it a mistrial.
What is that?
Oh, when someone tries to influence a jury indirectly by bringing in some matter which doesn't belong, it's a very technical point.
Who done that?
Well, that's just it. The district attorney mentioned something about Stefani. Usually, no one would notice it. But Judge Grayson immediately jumped on him and said he would have to consider a motion for a mistrial.
Is that bad?
Cato, if there's a mistrial, Stefani will get off. I'm sure of it. What puzzles me is Judge Grayson himself.
What's wrong, Mr. Ray?
Well, Grayson has lost all his old spirit. He looks like a man condemned. There's something behind this, Cato. It appears very much like an attempt to take unfair advantage of blindfolded justice.
By who?
That's just it, Cato. I don't know whether it's Stefani alone or whether Grayson is in on it, too. But we're going to find out. At the mask, Cato, and the gun.
Yes, sir. You go out of the Green Hornet?
Cato, justice wears a blindfold. But in this case, she may be able to see the scales with the help of the Green Hornet.
Now to continue our story. When a notorious racketeer was brought to trial, the public believed he would at last be found guilty of his crimes. But the racketeer had brought pressure to bear on the judge in his case.
He and the judge's crooked secretary had framed the judge so that he was forced to free the racketeer or be disgraced. When the trial was halted for the judge's decision, Britt Reed assumed his role of the Green Hornet to carry out the ends of true justice. It is evening. In the Grayson home, Mrs. Grayson speaks to her husband.
John, what's troubling you?
It's nothing. Now, won't you please leave me? I have work to do.
All right, John.
I'm sorry to be so abrupt, but I must decide on this motion for mistrial tonight.
Your secretary Creevy is outside. Do you want him?
Creevy? No, I don't.
John, you won't do anything that isn't right, will you?
Of course not. I'm only doing my duty as a judge.
I just wanted to be sure. Good night, dear.
I could free Stefani right now so easily, and yet I know it isn't right.
Then why are you doing it?
What? Who are you?
If you free that racketeer Grayson, you won't be worthy of the position you hold.
You're wearing a mask. How did you get in here?
Through the French door.
If your motive is burglary, I warn
I'm not a burglar.
Then why are you here?
Grayson, have you ever heard of the Green Hornet?
The Green Hornet? You're the Green Hornet?
Precisely. What does that name mean to you?
Everything that's crooked. You're wanted for every crime up to murder.
Yet I've never committed murder. Nor is that all, Grayson. The Green Hornet has never committed any crime. Unless you call bringing criminals to justice a crime.
The law takes care of criminals.
Sometimes there are criminals who evade the law. And that's when the Green Hornet steps in. And that's why I'm here now.
Stefani sent you here, didn't he?
Whatever... perhaps you're right, Judge. Maybe Stefani did send me here.
He's not content to hold those checks over my head as a threat. He sends you here in addition.
What checks are you talking about?
Don't pretend you don't know. Unless I grant Stefani a mistrial, those checks will be his means of having me disgraced. I'll be turned out of my position as judge.
I'm beginning to understand. Blackmail, eh?
Worse than blackmail. Those checks will convict me of accepting bribes, even though I never did.
You're entirely innocent of such a thing, is that it?
Of course I am. Yet Creevy and Stefani between them. But why repeat all this? If you're in with Stefani, you're familiar with his scheme already.
Who has those checks? Is it Stefani?
Stop all this pretense.
Answer me, who has those checks?
My secretary, Creevy. If he carried them with him, I'd be tempted to use force to get them back.
I see. He has them hidden someplace. His apartment, possibly.
I presume
You
so.
realize, Grayson, that it's your sworn duty to uphold the law regardless of any personal consequences that may follow?
I'm powerless to do anything. My wife is not well. Any disgrace may be fatal to her.
There's only one way to prove yourself an honest judge.
Why are you talking this way? You said Stefani sent you.
It was you who said that, Judge Grayson, not I. I'm here to aid justice.
You and Stefani can't trick me, Hornet. I know very well you're here for one reason. To make certain that I carry out Stefani's wishes.
Judge Grayson, I just came in to find out... Let me...
Out of my way, Grayson.
The Green Hornet!
Let me go, Grayson.
No, you can't go after him.
Why not? Isn't that Creevy, your secretary?
Please, if you go out there, my wife will see you. She has a weak heart. It might cause serious complications.
In that case, Grayson, I'll follow Creevy another way. Through the French door, the same way I came in.
Thank heavens you didn't go out there.
But remember one thing, Grayson. Don't call the police.
I won't.
And whatever happens, keep this in mind. Nothing is going to halt Stefani's trial, not even you. His guilt or innocence is a matter for the jury to decide. I'm going to make certain the jury has that chance.
What's the idea? What are you doing here at this time of night, Creevy? Thought you were over at the judge's home.
I just came from there, Stefani. Something happened.
You mean Grayson's gonna let me off?
No, it ain't that. Listen, Stefani. I walked into Grayson's study without knocking, understand?
Sure. I bothered to be polite to him when we got him on the spot, huh?
It's nothing to laugh about. Do you know who was there?
How could I?
The Green Hornet.
What? The Green Hornet? In with Grayson?
I recognized him. That mask he wears, just like the pictures in the paper.
Did he get you?
No, he started for me, but I slammed the door. I came over here as fast as I could.
The Hornet's in on this. We better watch out. That guy's dynamite.
You are not telling me anything new.
He might blast our scheme wide open.
But I can't figure it, Stefani. Who's he working for?
All I know is he ain't working for us. We gotta do something, Creevy, fast.
That's why I came here.
Did you bring them checks?
Oh, don't worry about them, Stefani. They're safe in my apartment.
Yes, Seth, what do you mean safe? As long as that Hornet's around, nothing's safe.
Yes, you're right. What shall I do?
Get over to your place and bring the checks back here.
Okay.
I'll call Schill and have him start putting more pressure on Judge Grayson. We gotta have Grayson set me free in a hurry before something goes haywire.
Once Grayson declares that mistrial, you're all set, Stefani.
Never mind that talk. Get moving. For all we know, the Hornet may be at your place right now.
After trailing Creevy to Stefani's place in the Black Beauty, Britt Reed stayed only long enough to watch Creevy enter. Then he spun the wheel and headed for the secretary's apartment. Arriving there before Creevy, he picked up the telephone.
Who are you calling, Mr. Beth?
I'm calling the police, Cato. I want to get some news to them before Creevy arrives. Meanwhile, you get busy and give this apartment the appearance of having been burglarized. Pull out drawers, upset things.
Yes, sir.
Hello, police department. I got a little tip for you. Slip Stefani's going to try to jump bail tonight. And never mind who's calling. Watch Stefani. He's planning to run out on his trial. It's time enough for me to act before the police face this phone.
Is Stefani run away?
Well, Stefani doesn't know it yet, Cato, but he'll try to run away very soon. As soon as he learns that we have those checks.
Shall I look for them, Mr. Britt?
Oh, we won't look for the checks, Cato. We'll let Creevy locate them for us. They're the first things you'll look for when he sees how upset his place is. Now put out the lights and we'll wait for him to arrive.
Brett Reed and Cato hid themselves behind the drapes in Creevy's apartment. Then a short time later...
Quiet, Cato. Someone's coming in.
Gotta find those checks before anybody gets at them. Where's that light switch? What the devil? The place is in a mess. The Green Hornet must have been here already. If he found those checks, the game's up. Look in the drawer where I kept them. Why, they're here. The checks just like I left them. Huh. Well, I guess the Green Hornet didn't have anything to do with this.
Hand over those checks, Creevy.
The Green Hornet?
That's exactly right. You recognize me in Judge Grayson's study.
Who are you working for, Hornet?
For Justice, Creevy, but you wouldn't understand that.
You can't talk to me that way. I'm Judge Grayson's secretary.
You're a crook, Creevy. You're working for Stefani. But this is one time you won't get away with your little plan.
How do you know about it?
Never mind that. Are you giving me those checks?
You want them, Hornet? Try and take
them. Tell Miss me, Creevy, your aim was bad.
You take it.
Gas. I can't breathe.
He's out. Yeah, I didn't figure on using gas on him. I thought he'd surrender those checks without any fuss.
Your checks.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they're made out to cash, deposited in Judge Grayson's account. There's no doubt that if these were made public, it would mean the end of Grayson's career.
That mustn't happen.
That's up to Grayson himself. If he can't decide to do the right thing, regardless of consequences, he doesn't deserve to be a judge. I'll keep these checks handy.
I see.
We'll see Grayson presently. First, I'll call Stefani and let him know what's happened. He's expecting a call from Creevy, so he may be a little surprised when he finds out who it is.
Hello?
Stefani?
Yeah, who's talking? This you, Creevy?
This isn't Creevy, but I'm calling from his place.
Why don't Creevy call? Put him on the phone.
That's impossible. You see, I just had to give Creevy a shot of gas to get certain bits of paper from him.
Creevy's been gassed. Say, who is this? Who's talking?
This is the Green Hornet.
Who you kidding?
What's more, I have those checks. The game's up, Stefani. You're finished.
No, listen, Hornet. I'll pay you for them checks. I'll pay you plenty. Only don't give them to Judge Grayson.
You'd better start running, Stefani. There's a long stretch in jail waiting for you if you don't. He'll start running, all right. Directly into the hands of the police. They'll make sure he doesn't get away from his own trial.
Yes, sir.
I'll be interested to learn how Judge Grayson acts when he finds that Stefani has attempted to skip out.
When the news of Stefani's attempt to jump his bail reached the ears of the reporters, they immediately rushed to Judge Grayson's home and clamored for a statement.
Stefani got nabbed by the cops trying to get away.
How about a statement from the judge, Mrs. Grayson?
Will this make any difference in the motion for a mistrial?
Here's Judge Grayson now.
Emily, what are these reporters doing here at this time of night?
Judge, Stefani was just caught trying to leave town.
Does that mean he has inside information?
The only reason he'd leave would be if you decided to continue the trial.
Is that it, Judge?
I cannot give my decision on that until court opens tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to my study.
But, Judge...
Mrs. Grayson will show you out. Good night.
We'd better be in court tomorrow, Lowry.
You said it, Clicker.
You'll have to leave, all of you.
All right, come on, Clicker, let's go.
I can't understand it. Why should Stefani do a thing like this when he's sure of his release?
Perhaps he isn't sure.
What? You? You've come back again. What is it this time?
I've been waiting here in your study, Judge, while those reporters were outside trying to interview you.
Is this more of Stefani's work?
I don't know what you mean.
He isn't fool enough to try to jump bail while he has those checks.
Suppose the checks were gone. Suppose they weren't in his possession any longer.
But that's ridiculous.
Is it?
Look here. If Stefani thinks he has me in the palm of his hand completely enough for a farce like this, he's mistaken. He's gone too far.
What are you going to do about it?
You weren't pointing that gun at me.
This gun is used only for my own protection. I can't afford to be captured.
I can well believe that.
You haven't answered my question yet. How about Stefani? Does his trial go on?
If it's any of your business, Stefani's trial will go on.
Even if it means your disgrace?
Do you see this envelope on my desk?
Yes.
That envelope contains my resignation. I wrote it an hour ago, before I knew Stefani was going to run out.
Why?
Because I decided that Stefani's case would go on. After that, I shall resign. This envelope contains my statement.
Open it up.
Why should I?
And if you won't, I'll open it for you. Look inside.
Why, that's not my resignation. It looks like... These are the canceled checks. The ones Stefani threatened to use against me. Where did they come from?
I put them there.
You?
I came here to make certain Stefani's trial would go on.
You read my resignation?
While you were outside with the reporters. That resignation was proof that you intended doing the honest thing, Judge Grayson. Proof that you refused to aid lawbreakers.
I always shall, no matter what the consequences.
And that's why I removed that resignation, Judge Grayson. There's no longer any need for you to resign.
I don't know what to say, how to thank you.
Burn those checks, Grayson, and you'll have nothing to fear. As for thanking me, I'll have all the thanks I need when Stefani gets what's coming to him.
He will. The jury will see to that.
Stefani guilty. Racketeer goes to jail. Green Hornet to the guard. Central
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Green Hornet Incorporated. The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies that even the G-men cannot reach. The Green Hornet.
The adventurer, Money Talks Too Loud. The events and characters depicted in this drama are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Hey, Clicker, I got the news from the state capitol.
Lay off, Lowry. This is my busy 2 weeks. Don't sit there.
Huh?
You almost had in some enlarging paper. I'm in a hurry to get my desk packed up. Freeze, will you?
Where are you going? You don't rate a vacation till August.
This, mister, is no vacation.
Special assignment? Where are you going? What are you going to photograph?
I'm not taking any pictures for the next 2 weeks. I'm filling in for Lenore Case on her vacation.
You're what?
Believe it or not, big boy, I'm to be secretary to the boss.
How do you like that? You? Say, no fooling.
No fooling, brother. So clear away from the desk. I'm doing his office now. He'll be in himself in a little while.
Like funny, Will. He's not due before noon today.
Well, that's what you think.
I know it. And if you don't believe it, ask the society head. She saw him at that Bernard dame's party last night.
Was he there?
Sure.
Gosh, I guess it must have been quite a party. There were a lot of big shots from the state capitol there.
Yeah, big shots is hot. What'd you say?
What's the matter with you? I said there were a lot of senators and things there.
There were? Oh, I wish I'd known that. I'd have barged in myself. I want to talk to some of those birds.
For what?
A slant on the horse racing bill.
What's that?
Don't you read the papers?
Nope. I just look at the pictures.
They're trying to put a bill through to legalize betting on the GGs.
They are. Say, that'd be all right, wouldn't it?
That's what you think. Don't make a crack like that in front of Britt Reed.
Is he against the bill?
And how?
But he can't be.
Oh, he can't, huh? Tell him that, Toots. Go on and tell him that.
Think I'm afraid to? Look here, smart guy. The Brannigan bill is before the committee right now.
What bill?
Brannigan. That's the horse race bill, in case you didn't know.
Oh.
And the bookies have gotten together about 50,000 smackers to lobby against it.
Why, you don't...
And money talks in the state capitol.
You say you don't read the papers?
If Britt Reed starts a string of articles against the bill, he'll be stringing right along with the bookies, and he can't do that.
Sister, maybe you've got something there. But tell me this. How can he take a stand in favor of the bill?
Well, why can't he?
In the first place, there are too many bad angles to it. Too many places for the grafters to get in. Too little protection for the state. Why, it costs more to collect the state's taxes than the amount of revenue it would bring in.
Gosh, I didn't know all that.
I'm telling you.
Well, tell me more.
It would mean that the state would sanction gambling. That would open everything up again for the operators of the slot machines, the dog races, the pinballs, the numbers games and the policy rackets, and the lotteries. If the state allows gambling on horses, how can they stop it on other things? As it is now, people who know of bookies go and sol the bet from time to time, but the great rank and file of people aren't interested. Let gambling on the races be made legal, and everyone will be betting on the GGs instead of paying their groceries.
Gosh, you're doing swell, Lowry.
Oh, what's the use? The boss can't stand in favor of the bill for the reasons I've mentioned, and he can't oppose it without being on the side of the bookies who'll be broke if the bill's put through. He's right on the fence. The only thing for the Daily Sentinel to do is keep quiet about it.
Yeah. I've got a picture of Britt Reed keeping quiet on an issue as big as this. It's going to be fun to see just what he does do. I'm not so hot on this machine, Mr. Reed, but maybe I'll get better with practice.
You're doing all right, Miss Benning.
There. I guess that'll do. You want to sign it now?
I'll send it into my office with the rest of the letters when you have them finished.
Yes, sir.
Now, concerning this Brannigan bill that's in committee at the Capitol.
Oh, yes. Lowry was speaking about that this morning.
The Daily Sentinel is going to take a firm stand against it.
But, Mr.
Now,
Reed...
I'm Gunnigan advised that we're to campaign strongly in opposition.
Right along with the gambling interest, huh?
What?
I understand there's a lot of cash to hire lobbyists against the bill. The bookies put up the dough. Money.
Oh?
They'll be glad to know the Sentinel is with them.
With them?
Well, isn't that what your opposition amounts to?
Perhaps it is.
And that's the way it appeared to me. I suppose if you played your cards right, you might sell them some space.
Sell who what?
The bookies, some space. Why not?
Miss Benny, have you been talking to Lowry or Hawks?
Well, not about selling space.
The Sentinel is opposed to the passage of the Brannigan bill, but that doesn't mean we're in cahoots with the bookmakers.
No, sir.
Never mind that message to Gunnigan. I'll write an article myself.
Now, isn't this something? Look here, Gopher.
What you got, Farnsworth?
The Daily Sentinel is out with a knife for the Brannigan bill.
No fooling.
Read it yourself. Playing right along with us. I'm almost sorry we chipped into the pool to lobby against the bill. Why, now there isn't a chance of the thing going through.
This is pretty strong stuff, ain't it, boss?
Plenty strong. And this is just a beginning. I say when Britt Reed takes sides in an issue, he goes all the way.
When Britt Reed takes sides in an issue flicker, he goes all the way. That's the trouble.
Oh, why the dickens, Ed, couldn't he have stayed away from the office for the next few days? Hang it. He goes on his merry nightlife way with parties and dances and spends his afternoons at the club or polo or golf or tennis.
Yeah, I know, Click. It's old stuff. He never comes around with anything particular on his mind until there's something like this. Then he takes unfair advantage of the rest of us just because he happens to own the confounded paper.
Well, cheer up, Ed.
Cheer up! With every bookie in town tipping his hat to me?
I think maybe the boss will change his mind about going through with his campaign against the bill.
Him change his mind?
You wait, fella. I've been busy.
You?
Sure.
Hey, Finney!
Me?
Reed's calling to you. Get back where you belong.
Holy smoke, I didn't know he was in yet.
What'd you do?
Nothing, Guy. Just wait.
You said you'd been busy. Hey, wait a minute.
See you by and by, Lowry. I didn't know you'd come in yet, Mr. Reed. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right, Miss Benny. Rather glad I came in early this morning.
Early? Oh, yeah. Early for you.
Here's an interesting letter that was in my mail.
Oh, really?
It's a letter of thanks for the manner in which the Daily Sentinel is taking a stand against the Brannigan bill.
Oh?
Signed by the Green Hornet.
Not really.
No, not really.
What? Not really?
That's what I said.
But I don't...
Someone wrote this letter to me and forged the signature of the Green Hornet. It's quite an accurate copy of it. Not bad at all. It must have been done either from an original or a photograph of an original.
But how could you tell that?
I wonder if someone who wants me to take a neutral stand on the Brannigan bill might not have sent this to me.
Whatever gave you that impression?
Or possibly someone who'd like to see me reverse myself and go in favor of the bill, knowing that I dislike the gambling ring.
But mightn't it be genuine? After all, Mr. Reed, the Green Hornet might be involved in the gambling ring. And in that case...
I think I'll fire Ed Lowry because of this letter.
Fire Lowry?
Why can't he come out like a man and tell me what he thinks instead of going about it in this roundabout way?
But Lowry didn't do that, Mr. Reed.
Didn't do what?
He didn't send that to you.
How do you know, Miss Benny?
Gosh, I know the guy. He wouldn't do that sort of thing. Honest to Mike, he wouldn't. He'd come out with anything he had to say.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. I can't imagine anyone else who might have sent it. Can you?
Well, gosh.
Well, don't try to think too hard, Miss Benny. We'll let the matter drop.
Well, isn't there some small chance that the Hornet might be opposed to the Brannigan bill?
Well, yes, Miss Benny. There is a chance that the Green Hornet might be opposed to the Brannigan bill.
Then you won't play along with the same side that the Green Hornet is on, surely.
Why?
Well,
Well, I'm late. I'm due at the Civic Club for luncheon. You watch things here, Miss Benny.
Yes, sir.
If any more letters come from the Green Hornet, save them for me.
Yes, sir.
I have an idea there won't be any more.
I don't think there will be. Gosh, that guy gives a girl a headache that aspirin won't cure. Makes me feel like a first-class heel.
He's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's gone.
Now give out, Clicker. What's the idea you had in mind?
Listen, Lowry, skip it. As an idea, it wasn't so hot.
Well, the boss has got to do something. A couple of the boys just blew in.
So what?
We're taking a sleigh ride. Everyone in town's giving us the berry.
What do you mean, everyone in town?
Well, all the bookies. They're thanking us for giving them a hand. Now, how do you like that?
I don't.
He'd be better off if...
Special for Mr. Reed.
Okay.
What's that?
I don't know. A letter of some sort.
Well, open her up. You're private secretary this week, aren't you? Maybe it's a lead on something.
Well, if it is, you won't get... Holy smoke!
Huh?
This is from the Green Hornet.
What? What's from the Hornet? What about the Hornet?
This is the real McCoy, the unadulterated real thing. A thanks letter for the stand the Sentinel has taken.
Signed the Green Hornet?
Signed the Green Hornet. Now what'll I do? Why does everything happen to me?
Sister, you invite things to happen. Now what?
I can't show this to him.
Well, why not? That's news.
Sure, it's news, but I thought the first one would be news.
First one?
Oh, Ed, I faked a letter just like this. I had a photo of one of the Hornet letters that are in the hands of the cops, and I faked one, thanking him for his stand against the Brannigan bill.
Yeah?
I thought maybe if he thought the Hornet was against the bill, he'd drop the publicity he's been running. And now a real letter comes in, and I can't show it to him.
Baby, you sure lead with your chin. Hey, but look, why not switch letters?
Huh?
Put this real one in the place of the one you showed him, see?
Oh, he knows the first was a fake. He saw something about it.
Yeah? Well, lay your cards on the table. Tell him the whole works and trust the luck that he don't give you the air.
Oh, he will. He was going to fire you.
Me? For what?
Well, he thought you'd sent the letter with a Hornet's mark on it.
Why, you...
I told him you didn't.
I'll never learn to stop talking to you. Sooner or later, I'm going to land in real trouble through you.
Oh, Lowry, I'm sorry. Hang it all. Didn't I have the interest of the paper at heart? I wanted to make the boss realize how things stood. That was the only reason I did it.
Sure, you thought you knew more about running the paper than he does.
Oh, God.
I don't know what he'll do, but you sure deserve getting canned.
All I can do now is to tell him the truth and take whatever he dishes out.
That evening, in his apartment, Britt Reed told Cato about the letters from the Green Hornet.
The first I suspected came from Miss Benny. It gave me an idea, you see, Cato?
What was that, Miss Britt?
I sent another letter in, and when I got back to the office, Miss Benny broke down and admitted that she'd sent the first. But I had Lowry make a page one story from the second.
What for?
To pave the way. Right now, I'm between two fires. I don't like to be in this position. I must take a stand against the Brannigan bill, but by taking that stand, I'm aligned with the gambling interests.
But what could the Hornets later do?
Every one of the gamblers will read it. They'll be ready for the call I'm going to make on some of them.
Yes?
I know who the ringleaders are. The biggest of all is a man named Farnsworth. His assistant is called Gopher.
Called what?
His name is Gables. They call him Gopher Gables.
Oh.
I also know the members of the legislature who will take money for their votes. And some of them are on the committee considering the Brannigan bill.
Who are they?
We needn't list the names just yet. I'm not ready for them.
Where are you going?
To the car. Come on with me. I may need you. I've got to leave the car to make some phone calls. You'll have to stay with the machine.
Very well.
Britt Reed went through a sliding panel in the rear of his clothes press, then between the walls of the apartment to a secret door that opened into an old, supposedly abandoned warehouse where the sleek black car of the Green Hornet was housed.
I don't know whether or not we'll get real action tonight, but we'll be ready for it, Cato. We'll take the mask and the weapons.
They're in the car.
Good enough.
But what do you do?
There's just one way to get out of this spot. That's to prevent the passage of the bill and smash the gambling ring. Both must be done.
How?
They say, Cato, that money talks. Well, in this case, if my plan works out, money is going to talk too loud.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Green Hornet adventure. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. Farnsworth and his aide Gopher Gables read the Sentinel with a great deal of amusement.
Can you beat it, Farnsworth? The Hornet tanking the Sentinel for what they're printing about the Brannigan bill.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or I wonder.
What's the matter, Mr. Farnsworth?
Maybe that message from the Green Hornet will have the reversed effect. I don't like the way it's been used here. The things that are written about it. It makes it look as if all of us were working with the Green Hornet. As if he was the boss of the whole bookmaking business in town.
Say, does it do that?
Yes. Maybe that'll make those fatheads in the Capitol pass the bill in spite of all we can do.
That won't do that, boss.
I wonder. Be quiet long enough for me to answer the phone. Well?
Farnsworth?
Yes, what is it?
You saw the Evening Sentinel?
Oh, naturally. Who are you?
It's going to cost more dough as a result of that story.
What do you mean, more dough?
There's a nervous bunch at the Capitol. They're afraid of public sentiment in view of the fact that the Hornet seems to be running your business for you.
That's ridiculous. Preposterous. The Green Hornet has no part in my business.
I know that, Farnsworth, but just the same, the boys need half again as much cash to swing the committee. You better get busy on the phone and raise it.
Who are you? Where are you calling
I
from?
can't say anymore now. Someone coming.
Hello. Hello.
What's the matter, boss?
I wish I knew who phoned. Someone said we had to raise more cash because of that story in the Sentinel.
Yeah?
I was afraid of something of that sort. Gopher, go and call on Meekin. Tell him to get the boys lined up and be ready for another contribution.
He ain't gonna like that so well, boss.
Tell him it can't be helped. We've already sunk plenty of cash in fighting the Brannigan bill. We've got to protect our investment. Now get going.
Gopher Gables hurried from Farnsworth's apartment, while Britt Reed, a short distance away, made a long-distance call from a drugstore phone booth. In fact, he made several of them.
Hello, is this Senator Jones?
I am Senator Jones.
You better get yourself a copy of the Sentinel and see what it has to say about the Green Hornet and the Brannigan bill.
I've read it. Why?
If you'll check with Smitty and Lynch and a couple of the others, you'll find that there's going to be extra cash for you in view of what the Hornet's done.
Who's calling?
Listen, Jones, I'll let you know who I am sometime when I want a favor, see? Meanwhile, just get smart and hold out for about half again as much as you've been promised.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's all right, Jones. I wouldn't expect you to say anything else over the phone. Just take a tip, though, and if you don't believe me, call Farnsworth. He's at home right now. Just tell Farnsworth that you don't like the way things are shaping up. If you don't want to call Farnsworth, speak to one of the boys up there who's representing him. Get the idea?
Senator Jones received this anonymous call in a hotel room where he had been playing cards with some friends.
I wish you'd tell me who you are.
Goodbye, Senator.
Sounded curious.
What is it, Senator Jones?
Advice from some anonymous party.
We don't need advice.
He stated that we should request additional recompense in view of the unfavorable publicity in this evening's edition of the Daily Sentinel.
I didn't like that story. Puts us on a spot where it'll be hard to table the Brannigan bill for this session.
I am fully aware of that.
Who are you telephoning?
Our friend, the lobbyist.
And then a short time later that evening, Farnsworth had a second call, this time from his representative at the state capitol. But while this call was being received, there were unseen witnesses. The Green Hornet and Cato, both wearing the familiar masks, were just outside an open window.
Yes, I know. I've already made the necessary arrangements. I'll raise more cash for those chiselers. I don't know when I'll have it. I'll let you know. And very well. Goodbye.
Hey, boss, I seen the boys.
Well?
They'll raise the dough.
When?
It ought to be on hand before the night is out. They'll contact you soon after midnight. They got to round up the guys that are out night clubbing.
The sooner the better. That cash should be in the hands of the boys at the Capitol in the morning.
Why have we got to work so fast?
The committee has to report on that bill. They'll have to hand in their report by the day after tomorrow at the latest, or it won't be passed at this meeting.
Ain't that what you want?
Of course it is. But if we don't raise the cash, then they will turn in the favorable report. And the thing will be railroaded through by the birds that want to close the session and get started on their summer vacations.
Yeah, I see.
The pressure of the newspapers will make them pass the thing unless we raise the cash to block it. Did you contact everyone?
Sure thing. Don't worry, boss. The dough will be here all right enough. You can get it to the Capitol in the morning with no trouble at all.
Very well. All we can do now is sit tight and wait.
Come on, Cato. While he's waiting for that cash to arrive, we'll make one more telephone call.
Yes, Mr. Bennis.
This way.
Aren't you going to go after the man?
Not just yet, Cato. That's all I wanted to see for the time being. That room, the desk, the inkwell. We'll probably use them all before the night's over.
Who you call now?
I'm going to try to reach Ed Lowry.
Will he be at the office?
No, and he won't be at home. I'll probably locate him in one of his favorite hangouts.
Hey, Larry. Phone call for you.
Tell him I'm in conference.
Tell him yourself. It's your boss.
Gunnigan?
Mr. Reed.
Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Holy cats, what's he want? It's almost midnight. Yeah, boss, this is Lowry.
Ed, remember there's nothing to this at all, but on the other hand, it's worth following up.
What's that, boss?
I happened to be in a nightclub when Gopher Gables came in.
Gables? He's Farnsworth's stooge.
That's right. He cornered Sutcliffe there and heard something said about raising more cash in a hurry and getting it to Farnsworth tonight.
More cash? That means the lobbyists need more. Wouldn't you say so?
I'm glad you agree with me. It might be a story if you get to Farnsworth's apartment and sort of hang around and watch.
It's worth a try, boss. I'll hop right over there. Thanks for the tip-off. Put what I owe you on the cuff, Gus. I'll probably be back before you close.
Where to, Larry? You got a story?
Private business, boys. Private business.
Ed Lowry parked his car near the Farnsworth apartment and watched for quite some time. He saw a couple of men enter and leave the place. Then, after waiting a few moments longer, he approached and rapped on the door.
Hello, Gopher.
Lowry.
Mind if I step in? How are you tonight, Farnsworth?
What do you want here, Lowry?
Just stopped in for a chat. Hey, what's all that dough?
None of your business. Now beat it. We're busy.
You came for something, Lowry? What is it? Speak up.
I hear you're raising more cash to fight the Brannigan bill.
Where did you hear that?
Is that what the sugar is for?
Tain't none of your business. Now scram, Lowry. Can't you see that you ain't... Hey, what the...
What's the matter with the lights?
Tricks, hey, Farnsworth?
Turn on that table lamp. Stand where you are.
Oh, and
Now, who are you?
you'll find out after I'm gone.
Where's he at? Let me drill him. Get to the floor, boss. I'm shooting.
No, you're not. Don't shoot, Gopher. Don't shoot.
What? I can't breathe.
He went out the door.
Find one of the lamps. Confound it all. Get some light in here.
There's the light.
Who turned them on again?
How the devil do I know? Look at Gopher.
What's happened to you? Get up, Gopher. Get up.
Out cold, and look at the desk. The dough is gone.
The money. Get after him. Get after him, Lowry.
Chase him yourself. It was your dough. He spilled the inkstand. Look at here. He must have got his hands in the ink. It's smeared all over the doorknob.
What's been done to Gopher? Is he dead?
Hold on, Farnsworth. Get a load of this.
But Gable...
He'll be all right. He just took a snootful of gas, that's all. The bird who came here to get that dough was the Green Hornet.
What?
There's a signature. That stamp he left on your desk.
The Green Hornet.
Now there's a story for the Sentinel.
The next morning in the Sentinel office...
I wanted your story handled in a very specific manner, Lowry.
But we should smear it on page 1, boss. A big banner.
No, it's too late for that. There have already been a couple of editions.
Oh.
Doesn't it seem logical in view of what we've seen before that the Green Hornet is the leader of the gambling ring?
Yeah, but he robbed Farnsworth.
How do you know?
Wasn't I there?
But how do you know he robbed him? Perhaps the mere fact that you were there made it necessary for the Hornet to make it appear to be a robbery.
Huh?
That would give him the cash you'll have to spend for the committee's vote. And do it in such a way that Farnsworth can't be tied up with it.
Boss, maybe you've got something there.
Of course, the Hornet may have taken the cash for himself. But it's my impression that he took it to pass on to the members of the committee. Too bad that can't be proved.
Well, if we could just prove that those birds took bribes.
Or prove that the Hornet's in league with a gambling ring. Too bad there isn't some way to identify that money. But that's, of course, out of the question.
Yeah, there's no way to prove that the same dough that was taken from Farnsworth is given to Jones and Smitty and the rest of the grafters.
If you'd only known this sort of thing would happen, you might have marked the bills in some way.
Mark bills, yeah, but, well, I wouldn't have had a chance, boss. I only... Hey!
What's the matter?
Hey, boss! I just thought of something.
What are you talking about, Lowry?
Maybe those bills were marked.
What do you mean?
Look, the bills were on the desk, like this, see?
Yeah?
There was an inkstand here, like this. Well, the Hornet bumps the desk or something in the dark. I heard him. Then we find the ink's all spilled when the dough is gone. It's all over the desk, and there's some on the doorknob. Get it?
Yeah, perhaps the bills are smeared with ink.
That's just it.
Yeah, but, Lowry, that wouldn't prove anything.
Sure it would, boss. The ink could be tested. Get ink from Farnsworth's desk. Analyze it. Compare it with that on the bills. Boy, if we could only get to the Capitol in time to see those bills in the possession of the grafters on the Brannigan Bill Committee.
Oh, what are you waiting for? You won't get there by standing here.
I'm on my way.
I'll do what I can from this end.
Hey, what the...
Take wait till you see what I'm bringing back, I hope.
Miss Benny, get the district attorney. I want him to do whatever is necessary to get a sample of the ink from Farnsworth's office, just in case Lowry can come through.
It's a long shot, boss, but I'm playing it.
While Lowry raced for the state capitol in a fast car with necessary officials and credentials, the committee members were in recess in the halls. Farnsworth himself was there, speaking to one of the committee.
I came here personally, Jones, to explain
Farnsworth, it's bad for you and me to be seen.
Skip that, Jones. I had the dough already, but the Hornet stole it. Now, just do what we want, and you'll get what was promised.
Not so loud.
It's okay, Jones.
What is?
Oh, hello, Farnsworth. Where's Smith? Coming.
What did you say?
Everything's okay. We're going to hold that bill back.
That's the stuff.
Fellow over there wants to see you, Jones.
Who?
Friend of yours. Thanks for everything, Farnsworth.
I was just explaining the dough was stolen by the Hornet, and
What
I was...
dough?
What dough do you suppose? What I had for you boys.
But we got it.
What?
Yes, your man had it.
But where did he get it?
I'm not used to asking where cash comes from.
I want to find out about this. Come on with me.
We'll have to hurry. The meeting is going to resume, and I want to talk to some of the
Boys, there's Farnsworth.
Yeah.
Smith and Jones with them. They stand ready. They're passing out something that might be money. Come on, let's go see. Hey, Senator, just a minute.
Yes?
Hold it. Shoot the picture.
Got it. Oh, reporters, eh?
Yeah, snapping pictures of you and Farnsworth and one of the gambling ring's representatives. What's in that envelope?
None of your business.
See here, Lowry, you...
So the Hornet took the cash from you to pay these guys off, then sent it here to your lobbyist.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, it's ridiculous then, but what's in that envelope?
None of your business.
Don't talk too much, Farnsworth. You may be facing a rap for bribery. That dough you had last night was marked.
The Green Hornet stole it.
Sure, stole it. Maybe because you planned it that way.
The money is marked.
What? What are you talking about?
What are you trying to pull on us, Farnsworth?
Gave you marked money, so you're all discredited. That means your report won't be taken. It means the Brannigan bill will be buried because Farnsworth framed you into taking marked money.
That's a lie. I did nothing of the
Try and
kind.
explain what that cash is for. Look at the ink on it. That ink came from Farnsworth's desk. That can be proved. Furthermore, it can be proved that Farnsworth collected that cash last night from other members of the bookmaking ring.
I won't touch the money. I didn't know there was money in this envelope. I was simply told that it was...
Sure, Jones. You just thought someone was sending you a Christmas card. Take Farnsworth and his pals in, boys.
You can't touch me. I have a right
We
to...
already got the warrant charging you with bribery. I guess that cash will make it stick. And if that doesn't, then by Thunder Farnsworth, they'll hold you plenty long because of your connection with the Green Hornet.
I have no such connection.
Then how come the dough the Hornet got from you is passed out by your men today?
You can't charge me with taking a bribe.
We won't need to place charges against you three crooks. Just resign, that's all you've got to do. You never belonged in the legislature in the first place. Go on back to your $25-a-week job.
This is a frame-up. This is a frame-up.
It's just what's needed, Farnsworth. The Brannigan bill buried and the gambling ring smashed. There's news my boss will love to see in print.
Sentinel Piper! Hornet allied with gambling ring! Bribery charges filed! Racing bill buried during roundup of bookies! Read all about it! Green Hornet still in ours! Sentinel XP Piper!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Green Hornet, Incorporated.